Hi everyone, it's Caitlin from Really Big Plant. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. So we are going to be doing another subscription box unboxing from Hirt's Gardens. So their subscription service is called Hirt's Box Botany, and this is my 11th month of receiving the subscription box. So I have been signed up for their annual subscription service, and it's been a really fun thing. Sometimes I've been liking the plant, sometimes I haven't, but it's been really fun to just open these up on here and show you guys what I've been getting. So this subscription box is supposed to come with a 6-inch plant, or sometimes a 4-inch plant and a 2-inch plant. Sometimes there's a pot, sometimes there's not. This is the first subscription box I have ever subscribed to for any type of product ever. My husband actually signed me up for this subscription service as a gift. It's probably not something that I would have chosen for myself, just because I like to pick things out, because I like to, buy stuff on my own. But this has been a really fun thing to do, and to just have this surprise plant come once a month, and I've been really enjoying opening these up on here. So let's just go ahead and take a look.
Really big plant.
Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, okay. I said uh-oh because I thought this was something different, but you're about to see. Come here, Finn, come look at this. Come here. Here, jump in. Go on. Go on. Okay. You want to help me unbox this? I'm going to leave him over here. This is Phineas, my dog. He, fortunately has pretty much zero interest in plants. Occasionally he might eat a little dead leaf or something if I let it be on the ground for too long, but for the most part he really couldn't care less about my plant collection. So I'm super fortunate to be able to keep all of my plants just on the ground and stuff, and he just really doesn't care. He just wants to be in a box. So this plant, I said uh-oh because I thought it was something different than what it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. Wow, okay. So this didn't come with a little card, so I'm not completely sure if this is the plant that I think it is, but I think this is called a Ficus Umbilata. And when I first looked at it in the box, I thought it was a fiddle leaf fig, which is why I said uh-oh. Because they have kind of a reputation and sometimes have a hard time shipping. But this, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure this is a Ficus Umbilata, and I've actually had a couple people kind of recently ask me on some of my other videos if I had any experience with this plant, and I actually have not had this before. So this type of ficus is relatively common in European countries. Okay, bye. Oh, you need your food and water? Okay. My dog's always trying to eat his food and drink his water as soon as I put anything in front of it that blocks it. He feels like he really needs to go eat his food, so he might start eating. Anyway, I think this is a Ficus Umbilata. I think I should look it up maybe. Should I?
It looks like it.
My husband is fact checking for me right over there. He's like, Ficus Umbilata. Okay, so okay, so I guess since I don't have any experience caring for this plant, I can't tell you too much about it. But all of the other ficus that I have are plants that can handle full sun. They prefer really bright light. I would start with bright indirect light before transitioning it into a direct sun location if that's your plan for it, because even though ficus are plants that can handle direct sun, a lot of times the ones that are grown for indoor cultivation are grown under pretty consistent shade cover, and so they don't see the direct sun rays. So sometimes when you bring them home, and if you want to put it in a south or west facing window, if you're in the northern hemisphere, where you're going to get a lot of direct sun all day long, you might want to acclimate that first. So this plant doesn't have quite as thick leathery leaves as the Ficus lyrata, the fiddly fig, or even the Ficus elastica. It's kind of more like, there are some thinner leaf ficus that exist, like the Ficus alii, which has like the thinner leaves, and trying to think of what other ficus I know that kind of like the Ficus repens has kind of like thinner leaves like this. So this is a really cool plant. Like any other ficus, I'd imagine that these like to dry a little bit between waterings, and they probably like to be kind of on a consistent schedule. So this is one of the more thinner leafed ficus. So I guess in my experience, I'm not completely sure how that translates into a care difference. Although I would imagine that it means that this plant might actually be a little bit easier to keep happy than a plant like the Ficus lyrata, because the leaves don't really like wilt or show you when it's thirsty or anything like that. But leaves that are a little bit thinner, I've noticed, tend to be a little bit more vocal, while simultaneously maybe more fragile. But sometimes if you're paying close attention, you can notice when the plants are a little bit thirsty because they start to wilt a little. Again, I'm not sure about this plant because I've never had one before, but I'm really excited to have this in my collection. I think as these get bigger, the leaves do get quite a bit larger, but this specimen does have pretty large leaves to begin with. So there's some new growth on there. Come here. So there's some new growth on there right in here. There's a little hole in the leaf. I don't know what that's from. Something could have it's just probably some developmental damage. Let me see. It looks like, so there's some stuff stuck to the back of this leaf in a way that makes me worried that there's spider mites on it, because there's like dirt hovering a little bit away from the surface of the leaf, if that makes any sense. But sometimes that's just like static in the way dirt gets stuck. Nope, this totally has spider mites. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I'm checking for spider mites. I have my main light source coming from over there, and the best way that I've found to spot spider mites is to try to put the light source directly behind the leaf, or like right up against the leaf, and then sort of squint with one eye really close against the leaf surface and see if you can see any hints of webbing. And I do see some, unfortunately, so I guess I'm gonna have to go take this plant to the sink. Okay, so the other thing about ficus is, ficus are one of my plants that pretty much all have spider mites. Like my Ficus elastica teneki usually has spider mites on it, but like really minimal webbing, and it doesn't cause the plant any damage. So, and I've had a whole saga with spider mites in my big, Ficus triangularis that I have. So ficus and spider mites kind of tend to go hand in hand. I'm not completely sure why, but I've noticed, unlike alocasia and some other plants that are spider mite prone, spider mites don't tend to destroy my ficus, at least in my experience. So I'm not super concerned. Of course, I would always rather receive a plant without spider mites than one with spider mites, but I'm not gonna like throw this plant out or anything because I spotted some mites on it. So I'm gonna just treat it. It'll probably live in my kitchen for a few days. My husband is sleeping on the couch and he is making sleep sounds. I think he actually was secretly responding to me saying that this plant was going to live in the kitchen for a few days because he hates it. Anyway, that was hilarious. But yeah, now I have a Ficus Umbilata. So to the people who asked about this plant, we'll see how it goes. So I would love to hear from you if you have experience caring for these. I've recently been seeing them in stores more in San Francisco, so I don't know about the rest of the country or the rest of the world if there's like a popularity increase in this plant right now, but I'd imagine that there is because I've started seeing them. So anyway, I would love to hear from you if you have a Ficus Umbilata, if you've got a big one and you've been caring for it for a while, or a small one, or if you like to propagate it, whatever your experience is on this plant, I would love to hear from you because I really don't know anything about it. So it didn't come with a pot this month, but that's okay. This plant looks really healthy to me. I think that this actually shipped really well considering like how little support there was. and it would indicate to me that this is gonna be like kind of a tough plant because the leaves actually look like they're all in really good shape. So I can show you from the back too. The leaves are slightly different color. But yeah, Ficus Umbilata. I'm really excited to add this one to my collection, my growing collection of ficus. And yeah, I actually think that this is a really striking plant. It's really beautiful. These leaves are just huge, and even though it just got shipped and it's a little bit rumpled, I think once the leaves sort of flatten out a little bit, it's gonna look really nice. So I'm really excited to have this plant, and I'm really glad that this one came this month. So hooray! Ficus Umbilata. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I would really appreciate it if you would go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope you guys are having a great week, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!